Hi friends, welcome to the Unit 2 Day 4 notes for Algeo 2. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things in this particular section. You may need to pause the video multiple times to kind of wrap your head around all the different things that we're talking about. And I say that because all of these I can statements are really in-depth with some really abstract concepts. So let's talk about, just as an example, before you watch the video, you should already know vertical angles, adjacent angles, and linear pair angles. You should also know complementary and supplementary. So if you are unsure of any of those, go back and review the previous set of notes until you feel confident with that, or reach out to your instructor for help. With this first one, the linear pair theorem, this one is unique compared to the rest, because when you have angles that are forming a linear pair, then they are summed to be 180 degrees. That means that if I add the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B, then I get 180 degrees. So in this scenario, this specifically, when you have a linear pair of angles, they add up to be 180 degrees, the sum of the angles. Talking about now congruent supplements theorem, if two angles are supplementary to the same angle, so that means that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary and angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary. So in this case, angle 1 and angle 3 both share that same angle 2 to make it supplementary, then that means angle 1 and angle 3 have to be congruent. Remember, congruent means the same design, shape. A good way to think about congruent. When we talk about something being equal, then we talk about the measures of them. So this means angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. That means that the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 3. Right angles, all right angles are congruent. So if all right angles are congruent, then that means that angle A in this case is congruent to angle B. Same as what we talked about from above. The measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle B, which in this case we know because it's a right angle, we know that these are all 90-degree angles. The congruent complements theorem is the exact same as the supplements, except we talk about them being complementary. Complementary means that they're adding up to be 90 degrees. The sums of them add up to be 90 degrees. Remember, supplementary is when they add up to be 180 degrees. So if two angles are complementary to the same angle, then those two angles are congruent. So like in this example, I have angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary, angle 2 and angle 3 are complementary. That means angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, or the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 3. And then vertical angles, for this last part, vertical angle theorem, vertical angles. Sorry, oh no, my camera is moving. There we go. So with this one, vertical angles here, vertical angles are congruent. And this is all vertical angles, no matter what. All vertical angles are congruent. Angle A and angle B are vertical angles. That means angle A is congruent to angle B, or the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle B. I will frequently say that vertical angle theorem is the most important theorem in geometry, and that's because you can build everything in geometry off of vertical angles theorem. All of the things that you learn in geometry, you can do with vertical angles. In fact, vertical angle theorem is one of the first taught theorems in many deep level geometry courses, because you can actually construct things using just that concept. Join me in the next video as we go over example 1 and just really diving into finding reasons for the use of these different theorems that we just talked about.